everyone and welcome to the birthday book tag. So last Wednesday was my 26th birthday, so what I thought I'd do is celebrate by doing the birthday book tag because I can't do my book haul yet because I'm still waiting on a couple of books to arrive and I haven't had time to sort out my TBR yet for April. So we're doing the birthday book tag, so let's get into it, and this is going to be a very quick one because I'm doing this literally just before my best friend arrives for a bit of a birthday celebration. Question number 1 is Birthday Cake, which is a book with a plot that seems cliche but you adore it anyway. All of the Mortal Instruments books, I don't generally do that kind of thing. I don't do the cliche plot lines, I don't do love stories, I don't do love triangles or anything like this, but I really enjoy the Mortal Instruments series. It feels very sort of like easy reading, I guess you could say. It's sort of like a nice sort of palate cleanser in between other books. I really enjoyed them, and I really just enjoy them despite the fact they're really cliche. They're fun. They're just fun. Question number 2 is Party Guest, your most anticipated book releases this year. Most of them have already come out, but Until the End by Derek Landy, that is the final Skullduggery book, that comes out on the 14th of April, which is very soon. With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher also comes out on April 14th. There's The Bind Up of the Death of Doctor Strange, very excited for that one. There's, trying to think now, there's several others and I've forgotten all of them. The next in the Strange Academy series by Scotty Young. The next one's in the I Hate Fairyland, but I don't know if that's out this year. There's a lot. I have quite a few actually. So I won't list them all here because I'll be here forever. Question number 3 is Birthday Presents, a book that surprised you with how much you loved it. Raybearer. I read this very recently and I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably going to enjoy it because everyone enjoys it. I think it's going to be a good time. But I loved this book. I cannot believe how much I loved Raybearer. It was incredible. I absolutely adored it. I'm still not over it, quite frankly. I was expecting it to be like a 3-star, 4-star read where I'd enjoy it, but I gave it 5 stars. It was incredible. Question number 4 is Happy Birthday Song, a book that certainly deserved all the hype it got. I'd say Raybearer again, but I'm not going to because that's just repeating answers. Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Gallant got a lot of hype and it totally deserved it. It was the right amount of slightly creepy but also really fun, and I just really enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of vibes for like Crimson Peak and Coraline in a lot of ways, things like this. I really enjoyed it. It definitely deserves the hype it's getting. Question number 5 is Happy Music, a book with some very beautiful and truly memorable quotes. Anything by Shauna Maguire. Shauna Maguire has some incredibly memorable quotes in all of her books. I ironically can't remember any of them now. That's useful. I can remember some Terry Pratchett ones, which I'll always remember because it's The Hogfather and I quote it every single year like on Christmas Eve, which is when Death does the so he has this big speech against the bad guys, and because he's been playing Santa, aka the Hogfather, this entire way through the book to sort of make sure the sun rises in the morning, because if there's spare belief and all the rest of it, I won't go into it. But he's talking to the bad guys and he's done this big speech about how they broke the rules of the universe and everything. And he goes, and then there remains one final question. Have you been naughty or nice? Ho, ho, ho. And that bit just gets me every single time because you suddenly realise that death is scary. Because the whole way through this book, he's been really sweet. You know, he doesn't understand humanity, but he loves them anyway. He doesn't understand them. And he's been doing his best with, like, his granddaughter and trying to help with, like, all the kids and the belief and all the rest of it. And trying to understand, like, how the presents work and, like, all that kind of thing. And then you go, wait a minute, he's actually a badass and he is scary. Which I find really fun. And then, like, at the beginning of the book, you've got, like, a bit about how the universe created. And it says, like, oh, and then there was one other theory. Things just happen, what the hell, which I really like. And there's also, of course there is something that makes a noise. What else is 4:30 a.m. for? Which I always find fun. There's a lot of quotes like that throughout The Hogfather, so I'm going to say The Hogfather. Can you tell I haven't actually, like, prepped this and I'm literally speed running this video, but there we go. Question number 6 is Getting Older, a book that you read a long time ago but you think you would appreciate more if you read it as a mature reader. that's a tough one because I'm very bad at rereading books, because I sit here and go, I'm probably not going to enjoy that now because I am older. I've had this with Matilda because I reread that one. I also reread The Secret of Platform 13, which I did enjoy, but I was a bit like, it's not as good as it was before. And I've had this a couple of times with childhood books where I'm like, I don't enjoy that as much. So that's quite a hard one. I think I'd maybe say, I don't know actually, I have no idea. No, I've got nothing. I've actually got nothing for this. I don't generally do those rereads and they generally fall by the wayside a little bit. I'm trying to think of something that's like a lot of like nuance and all the rest of it, but I don't do heavily nuanced books or anything because it all goes over my head. I don't have an answer for this. I just don't have an answer. And then finally is question number 7, which is Sweet Birthday Memories, a book that kept you incredibly happy during a sad or demanding period in your life. I'd always say fanfiction for this, which I know is not an answer because fanfiction is like not on Goodreads and things like this, and I'm counting all of my answers for things that are on Goodreads. But usually I use fanfiction as sort of like my mental reset, as I put it, in the sense that I use it to cheer me up, and I sort of feel like I have sort of mentally reset myself whenever I have read some fanfiction and I'm like, right, return to normal now. Equilibrium has been restored. It's weird, I don't know how that happens, it just does. I don't know, I don't generally read books to cheer myself up or any, like, for me when I'm going through a difficult time, I just double down on readathons. Because I decide that if I'm stressing about the readathon, I can't stress about what's actually going on in my life. So I'm going to credit readathons for this because, I mean, the first one I really doubled down on was the Newts in, well, 3 years ago now. So, because I was going through a really tough time then and the Newts were happening at the exact same time, so I just sort of threw myself into the Newts so I didn't have to worry about everything else that was going on in my life, and I keep on doing that. So I'm not really going to credit a book here, I'm going to credit readathons because they seem to get me through the toughest of times. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So I'm going to credit the readathons instead. And that is the end of the birthday book tag. I'm not going to tag anybody for this because I feel like it's something you need to do around your birthday, so I'm not really going to tag anybody for this. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me which books you feel get you through a hard time or have a lot of memorable quotes. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a birthday cake emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the comic book section, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, as well as to my Redbubble and Etsy store, which sells bookish merch and bookish bullet journal stuff if you're interested in that. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!